This is section 2.4 on the coordinate plane. This is something that is definitely a review. You've seen this before, probably every math class since 7th grade. So this should be a pretty simple section. What is the coordinate plane? Well, it's the grid system that you're going to use to locate points. So for example, this is your coordinate plane. You have an x-axis and a y-axis, and that makes 4 quadrants. Those are the 4 regions on the coordinate plane. Since there's an x and a y-axis, your ordered pairs are going to have an x and a y coordinate that you're going to graph on the coordinate plane. For example, this point right here has an x value and a y value. It lives in quadrant 1. So the x value and the y value are both positive. That's what that means. So that particular point is 3 to the right and 5 up. So we're going to say that this ordered pair lives at 3, 5. Ordered pairs that live in quadrant 2 are going to use the negative portion of the x-axis and the positive portion of the y-axis. So we'll put a point here. We always move left or right first. So we have to move to the left 6 units and then up 1. So that ordered pair lives at -6, 1, and this would be the graph of it. Quadrant 2, negative, positive. Quadrant 3, we use the negative part of the x-axis and the negative part of the y-axis. I'll just randomly put a point here in quadrant 3. 6 units left, 3 units down. -6, -3. Quadrant 4, the x values, the x coordinates are positive and the y values are negative. So this guy lives at 2, -5. Now, if you ever forget which quadrant is which, here's a good way that we like to remember it. If you connect 1 with 2 and 2 with 3 and 3 with 4, it makes what looks like a C for coordinate plane. So we start up here in quadrant 1, move left to quadrant 2, move down to quadrant 3, and then right to quadrant 4. What are the coordinates of these points? Well, I know these 2 points are in the first quadrant, so they both have to be positive, positive. A looks to me like it's 5 to the right and 1 up. So we're going to call A 5, 1. Both are positive. It's in the first quadrant. C lives at 2, 3. We move 2 units right and 3 units up. First quadrant, so they're both positive. Move over to the second quadrant. We better have a negative number first and then a positive number. F lives 5 units left, 1 unit up. So we'll call it -5, +1. E lives at -3, +3. Again, I'm just double checking myself. I know this is quadrant 2, so my first number better be negative, my second number better be positive. This is quadrant 3. Both better be negative in quadrant 3. We're moving left 4 and down 3. That's where point B lives. Point D is in quadrant 4, so we better have a positive number first and a negative number second. We're going 4 to the right and 2 down. Those are all of the ordered pairs that are in quadrants. Now, there are some ordered pairs here that don't live in quadrants. They live on an axis, or this point O lives on the X and the Y axis. That's called the origin. It lives at 0, 0, because we didn't move left and we didn't move right. We didn't move up or down. Okay, so this is not in a quadrant. Same thing with point H. It lives on the x-axis. Be careful with the coordinates though. We're moving 2 to the left and we're not moving up or down. So for this one, it's 2 left, that's -2, 0. G lives on the y-axis. So it's not in a quadrant either. Let's move left or right first from the origin. You don't have to move at all. So it's a 0. Then go down 4. If you're going to mix any of these up, chances are pretty good it's the coordinates for these points. Let's plot these points. Make sure you give them a name also. Point J, negative, then positive. That's going to put you over here in quadrant 2. There's point J. Point K lives +4, then -2. So that's in quadrant 4. L lives at +1, -3. Also in quadrant 4. M lives at 0, +3. We didn't move left or right, we went up 3. Last one, move left 1 and then up or down 0. That's how you plot your points in a coordinate plane.